Hey guys, and welcome back to Starcastic Remarks. And alongside James, my name is Ryan Chambers. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast of THPN. Thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook, as always, for being our sponsor. That promo code there, as always, is THPN. Dallas Stars get the win tonight over the Seattle Kraken, getting a 4 out of 4 points over this short little road trip after taking care of business in Vancouver, or excuse me, not Vancouver, in Edmonton, and then here tonight in Seattle. Well, James, I can officially say happy Thanksgiving because it is currently 12:03 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. So happy Thanksgiving. How are things going?
They're going pretty good. It's kind of a weird game that we have to talk about, and it's weirder that it is now Thanksgiving. So,
well, what's your initial thoughts coming out of this game here tonight?
yeah, like I said, it's just strange, funky game. The people who scored in the game were not the people you expected to score, and it honestly, the Stars looked like they were on the second night of a back-to-back. I mean, they looked pretty slow overall as a team, even though they were able to spread out the minutes pretty well against Edmonton.
Right, and that was one of the points I wanted to make about that Edmonton game is the fact that the Stars were able to rack up goals on the Oilers. That means they were able to rest Miro and Essa a little bit more and have them ready for the game here tonight, which was very, very, very helpful, especially with Essa playing so much on the penalty kill here tonight. Sorry, I am tired, as you can tell. We're both yawning as we do this, but we're not going to go the full hour here tonight, so just want to let y'all know because, again, it is midnight, and James has to get up early to actually be here. So,
No.
but or not here. Sorry,
but somewhere else.
Somewhere else. So it's not like here, but like you know what I mean. Anyways, I want to get into a couple of things here tonight. Chris or James or whoever your name is. Gosh, I'm so tired. But first off, I want to throw up the super chat over here from Ryan. Happy Thanksgiving. What a road trip. Thanks for the dedication and being willing to have an all-day Thanksgiving pod marathon for us. Go Stars. And the refs didn't like us. So I don't know about the refs not liking us, but there were a couple of opportunities they could have called and they didn't. But you know what? I'm not going to complain about it because the Stars got the win.
I'll complain about it a little bit because having the penalties be 4-1 in a game where the other team is trailing the entire time is a little ridiculous, but whatever.
The only one that I was kind of a little bit iffy about was when Wyatt Johnston basically got hit from behind. I was just kind of like, okay, really?
But the ones they called against the Stars, those same things were happening the other way. They just weren't calling them. They just weren't penalties to them. And then they didn't call the delay a game in the third period. I mean, they can call that one and then review it too. They just decided not to call it. So whatever, it is what it is. We won anyway. That whole road trip, the Stars, I need to go back and look at what the penalty count was, but I think the Stars ended up with like 8 penalties or power plays, I'm sorry, through the 4 games. And the other team ended up with like 20. So,
well, geez, I wonder why that happened, James.
It was a tough road trip.
It's not like we have a superstar who's slightly diving and getting fined for embellishing and getting a game suspension for hits that he does.
Yeah,
or whatever,
but that shouldn't change how great the penalties flipped.
Okay, but the
Islanders game doesn't count. The Islanders game doesn't count as part of the 4-game road trip either. It was ridiculous. Even against the Canucks, I felt like we got screwed in that game. But
well, anyway, for me here tonight, James, the Stars just took care of business. That was the main thing. And yes, I agree with you. They were not on their A game, but it's the second night of a back-to-back, and not to mention they're both late games for the Stars because, again, they're used to Central Time Zone, just like the rest of us here in the DFW area. But seriously, it just goes to show you that good teams find a way to win. And that's what I'm taking out of this today. And it's not like Seattle is, a terrible team. And they're an okay team. They probably shouldn't be second or third in their division like they are right now. But it's still a team that is on the bubble. And it's, you take care of business against this team. So that's mostly where I'm kind of chalking all of the stuff up to right now.
Yeah, and strange goal scorers too. I mean, 4 out of the 5 goal scorers on the night are defensemen.
Yeah, and the only one was. So let's talk about a couple of individual players, and then we'll talk about some team aspects as well. The Stars have a lot of individual players who are playing very, very well right now, and none better than Jason Robertson right now, whose goal streak is snapped here tonight. That's the one thing that the Kraken can kind of hang their hat on here, is the fact that Jason Robertson does not make it to 8 games.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing for me, but I mean, Robo's going to keep being Robo. He's going to be insane. And really, even though they kept Robertson off the score sheet, they didn't keep his line off the score sheet. His line scored twice. So we take that.
Ryan over here saying no goal for Robo. What a bum. Yes, seriously. What's wrong with Robertson? My goodness. I can't believe how terrible of a player he is.
It's so funny because late in that game, it's tied, and you're like, oh, Robertson hasn't scored yet. Surely we got one more.
Yeah, right.
And then of all people to score, who else but Kolyachonok?
Yeah. Okay. If anybody tells you that they had that on their bingo card, they're absolute freaking liars. There is no chance. Like Victory Plus's little $10 million giveaway thing. If anybody actually picked Kolyachonok, I would be legitimately shocked. Like, I don't see how that would happen. But you know what? He has been okay. And the reason why I say okay is that because there was one particular instance in, I believe it was the second period. Yep. And early on in the second period, there was a long shift for him and his D partner, and then the third line of Ritzkovian, Beck, and Bork. And there were just 2 really bad plays by him to try and get it out of his own zone. But you know what? He kind of negates that play by the fact that there was no goal given up during that shift. And then he turns around and he gets the game-winning goal here tonight. So you know what? He more than makes up for it.
Yeah, and that's really what has happened with the 2 AHLers getting into the lineup. For the most part, they've been able to make up for what they have given up. And that is huge when you're talking about people who are not everyday NHLers. I mean, that's tough to do, and that they've done a great job doing that.
There's a couple of other players that I think deserve a whole lot of, I don't want to say credit, but they deserve to have the spotlight on them a little bit here tonight. So I want to highlight 2 players in particular that maybe not everybody is looking at. The first one is Alexander Petrovic. I mean, I think this is literally the best hockey that we've ever seen him play as a member of the Stars organization. And I mean, you have to remember, this guy, the last couple of seasons has mostly played in the AHL. And he was able to solidify the Stars defense on the back end when they didn't have a true number 6 at the time, whether it was 2 years ago or even last year. Excuse me. And fulfilled the role very well. He was very solid in the playoffs. And then it even caused a bunch of Stars fans, including us, including Chris, to come out and say, you know what? This guy deserves a roster spot. And even though he didn't deserve that, he didn't get that roster spot, he stayed with the team. He was going to be the number 7. And because of all of the injury issues that have happened, he has solidified himself as a top 4 option for the Stars. And my goodness, like I'm not joking, James. I am fully 100% amazed with how he is playing right now. He is playing way above his expected role. He was supposed to be a top AHL guy to, kind of be a mentor to some of the younger guys, maybe mentor Trey Taylor. And he has mentored Bischel, which is why now Bischel is up in the NHL as a regular. And that was supposed to be his role. And he has been that, but he has been even more. And I think he deserves a little bit more of the spotlight being thrust upon him right now, because not only is he playing very well defensively, he is eating up the minutes that a lot of other guys, who are out of the lineup right now have been. And it's not just defensively on the puck, James, but it's offensively as well. I've noticed him several times now where he's jumping up into the play, and he'll put it on net and give others the opportunity to have a good shot and have a good chance. So I need to sing the praises of Alexander Petrovic here, especially since Thomas Harley and Ilya Lyubushkin have exited the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, since Harley exited the lineup, that was about 7 games ago. In that 7-game stretch, Petrovic has 3 points. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but for someone who's a bottom pairing defenseman, that's pretty good considering you're not even supposed to be there. And he's playing at least 18 minutes a night. This was the least he played since Harley came out, and that's because he took 2 penalties.
No, James, he's not even a bottom pairing defenseman. He was a number 7 on this team.
But he had already fought his way into the bottom pairing defenseman spot.
No, that's not true either, though.
I think it's very true. If you go back and look at the game logs, then he already had fought his way back onto that. He's been playing for a while.
No, I agree with you, but it's a combination of, excuse me, my goodness, I'm trying not to yawn, guys, I swear, of several things, but like he has just been absolutely unbelievable with how he's been playing. I mean, I'm just trying to pull up his stats here, because I want to see his individual stats. But he kind of got to take the night off tonight, James. in a way,
taking penalties.
Well, okay, that's fair. But he gets 17 minutes, 57 seconds time on ice here tonight, and then literally the last,
which is that is the least he's played since Harley's been out of the lineup.
Yes, and then here's the last 4 games for those of you who are listening. 22-12 against the Oilers, 21-13 against the Flames, 22-06 against the Canucks, and 21-43 against the Islanders. So, like, it's not like he's been playing insignificant minutes either. Like, he has been absolutely fantastic. And, I mean, he was +3 against Vancouver. He has an assist here tonight. He's +1 against both Seattle and Edmonton. And that's been the biggest thing that a lot of people were worried about, is with Thomas Harley, who is your number 2 defenseman, exiting the lineup, who is going to eat up all of those minutes? And a lot of those minutes have gone to, yes, Bischel, but it's also been given to Petrovic as well. And I think Petrovic he's thrived. He hasn't just been good. He has thrived.
Yeah, he really has. He's been spectacular for what we, especially for what we expected from him. And he really has just been thrust into this. It was kind of a disaster with how bad defenseman injuries on the Stars keep piling up. I mean, you had Ilya Lyubushkin, Nils Lundqvist, and Thomas Harley all within like 2 weeks of each other. And now he's playing 20 minutes a night, and he's doing great. Like you said, I mean, he's making the right play almost all the time, and even when he's messing up, he's typically back to make the play to clean it up.
And that also allows players like Heiskanen and Lindell not to be playing like 30 minutes a night. Sorry, Kyle. I know. Ryan's spreading the yawns. I know it's bad. I apologize. I'm trying not to. There's other players that I'll get into here tonight as well that I thought played well. But the other guy I kind of want to highlight a little bit, James, is, and I can't believe we haven't really talked about him enough, is the new and improved Tyler Seguin. he has been on fire this year, and in some ways kind of quietly too. You don't really see him a lot in the goal scoring department right now. But I mean, look at his last 5 games. 2 assists tonight with the +3, 2 assists against Edmonton, and somehow was a -1. I don't know how that happened, but okay.
Power play.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe, yeah. He had an assist against Calgary. It was a +2. It was a +1 against Vancouver. 2 assists against the Islanders, and it was a +2. And he's consistently playing around 16-ish minutes, 16 and a half minutes, basically every single game. So those 2 players are very quietly having very good seasons for this team. And Seguin's numbers are looking excellent. They're looking very similar to what they were last year when before he exited the lineup. He was a point per game player before he exited the lineup last season. And he's not quite on that same pace right now, but he's got 7 goals, 10 assists for 17 points in 24 games.
Yeah, I mean, you'll back to it.
Yes, you will take that any day of the week with Tyler Seguin. And the guy is, and he's also being, with Duchene being out of the lineup, he has also gotten the opportunity to play with Hintz and Robo, which I'm not saying doesn't, I'm not saying that that's the only reason why he's getting points, because that's not. The reason why he's getting points, and they talked about it on the broadcast tonight, James, is all of these primary assists that he's getting. Like, he is the reason why Robo has all of these goals. Like, Seguin is the one setting up Robo. Robo is putting them away. So that he deserves a ton of credit, and he needs to be spotlit a little bit, just like Alexander Petrovic, in my opinion.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the point with Duchene being out, I think he would have more points if Duchene was in the lineup. Those 2 just have such incredible synergy. They just know where each other are going to be. And honestly, it wasn't surprising to me that he had started the season at like half a point per game is about what he's at. He's already eaten into that a bunch, but once he finally settled into the groove of being beside Hintz with Robertson on the other side, I mean, he settled into that. He's looked great since then.
I mean, 7 assists in 5 games. I mean, yeah, no goals, but who cares? His line mate is scoring all of them. Robo is scoring all of them, and Hintz is too. Which, by the way, that's another guy I think we need to highlight here is Roope Hintz. He's kind of the way that Mike Heika is kind of putting the lines out there on Twitter. He's kind of switching them around a little bit and saying that, like, the Ritzkovian line is the 3rd line and the Hintz line is actually the 1st line. And I don't believe that. I think that Wyatt Johnston and Mikko Rantanen are the 1st line. That is the 1st line, even though that Jamie Benn is on that line. But ever since he has come back from his injury, he must have taken the good stuff, because whatever he took is really working for him right now. I think he has been on a point per game pace since he has returned to the lineup, if I remember that correctly.
Yeah, exactly on a point per game pace.
Yes, he's got 19 points in 19 games.
Yeah, he has 6 goals through that stretch too. So I mean, he's been fantastic. And it's nice to have. He's kind of the more consistent goal scorer on the Stars team, right? Like, he's always going to get one here and there. Doesn't normally go on these super long streaks. At least I don't feel like he does. Maybe that's all Stars players, but he just uses his speed to blow up whatever the other team has set up at the defensive blue line.
Yeah, and like even tonight, like they called the icing against the Stars.
Yeah, he easily would have won it.
Flying through it, and the whistle goes off, and he turns around, and he's like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, and there wasn't even a discussion with the refs either.
Okay, fine. Yes, you were right. Well, this is an interesting stat too, though, James. He is currently averaging 18 minutes and 4 seconds time on ice. That is the most time on ice he has played since 2020-2021, when he was averaging 18-14 a night. And that doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it does when you compare it to last season. Last season he was averaging about 16 minutes, 53 seconds. So he's averaging a full minute per game extra on the ice than he was last year, which for me, that's a good thing. Roope Hintz is one of your top 6 forwards. He needs to be out there as much as possible.
I think he is the most obvious player who, if you want to tell when Pete DeBoer got here and when he left, go look at Roope Hintz time on ice. It's spread out per game. It's pretty obvious. He's playing 18 minutes a night, and then Pete DeBoer gets here and he's playing 17 and a half to 17, and then Pete DeBoer leaves, he's back to 18. So it's not really too much of a shocker, especially with how the Stars have gotten more top heavy.
Yep, that's absolutely true. Okay, another individual that I want to focus on tonight is Mr. Casey DeSmith. He continues to be so good for the Stars, especially in these back-to-back scenarios or when they're not at their best. And the Stars had their moments tonight where they were good. They did, especially mostly in the second period, I think. But here tonight, Casey was consistently good. And he ends the night with 26 saves and 929 save percentage. I mean, do the Stars have the best tandem in the NHL in terms of goaltending?
Probably, maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. DeSmith does play a very different style. That's actually what ends up causing one of the goals for the Kraken tonight, because DeSmith has to come out to face shots, and he comes out to face one, and he gets swimming a little bit, and then they throw one on him when he's not ready because it's so far out of the crease he's trying to get back, and it goes off his leg in it. So, I mean, it's a different kind of style. It's very fun to watch. He makes pretty ridiculously, athletically inclined saves, but I don't think we could call it the best tandem in the league.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but they definitely have to be top 5 at the very least. If they're out of the top 5, I'm shocked. Do you want to see more of Casey DeSmith over the next couple of weeks?
No, I think the amount of Casey DeSmith that we're seeing is the right amount of Casey DeSmith.
I honestly think I would like to see him more often. And I know we went into that whole debacle about, what the advanced analytics say. And I did all that research with the advanced analytics about Casey and about Otter. And, the eye test says that Casey's playing well and Otter isn't, and blah, 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 blah. But the advanced analytics say that he's facing more, so, but it's hard to go against what my eyes are telling me. And right now it feels like that Casey DeSmith is playing really, really, really well. So,
well, that's because he is playing really, really well.
But what I'm saying is maybe to the point that it's even better than Ottinger, which I know is not true, but that's what my eyes are telling me, and my eyes might be deceiving me a little bit. The one thing I do got to point out too is while the Stars power play continues to be pretty good, even when they don't score like tonight, it still led to some opportunities on the power play. It wasn't fantastic, but it's still solid. But on the flip side of it, the penalty killing has been so much better over the last couple of weeks. They spring a leak here and there in certain games, and that's bound to happen in an 82-game season. But it has been way more consistent over the last, I'd say, 2 or 3 weeks, probably.
Yeah, it's been really nice to see, especially with how many penalties we have taken on the road trip,
which is weird.
Yeah, I mean, the only game where it really bit us was that Calgary game, where it just seemed like we couldn't kill a penalty to save our lives.
The only other thing I wanted to point out that I love seeing is, good on Glenn Gulletson for keeping Nathan Bastian in the lineup here tonight. I think Nathan Bastian deserved that extra game after the way that he played against the Oilers. And obviously he probably, They should have just let him keep the high sticking goal and given him a hat trick.
A hat trick.
Yeah. That would have been nice.
I think it's really good for Bastian and Blackwell to both. They're both fighting for that one spot left in the lineup. And honestly, there could not be a better two players to be fighting for that spot, because every time one of them gets back in, it seems like the first game back, they always end up scoring a goal, like every time. And if we could just swap them out every other game, maybe they get 40 goals by the end of the season.
Well, that's not even going to happen for much longer, because
I know.
Like when Duchene comes back, they're both going to be out.
Yeah, Duchene is maybe coming back on Friday or Saturday or whenever we play.
Friday.
They talked about it the whole road trip. So
yeah, and I don't know.
We'll see.
That when he comes back into the lineup, there's going to be a lot of questions that are going to have to be asked. And what's crazy is that that's funny, Kyle. I like your comment. Here, I'll just bring it up while I'm talking about this real quick. When Duchene comes back, it's going to completely change the lineup. It's going to make the lineup look completely different, which I kind of hate, because despite the Stars, going through a bunch of injuries and stuff right now, the lineup that they have is really working for them right now. It fantastically. It's been working very, very well. They tried Jamie Benn on that top line for a bit, and it looked like it wasn't going to stick, but at least right now it looks like it's going to stick. It has looked really, really good. And then, what are they going to do with Seguin? Like, are you going to take Seguin off of that line with Hintz and Robo? Because personally, I wouldn't, because Robo has been scoring because of Seguin. Seguin has been the one feeding him the puck. So I don't.
Or maybe Seguin feeding him the puck is getting Seguin the points.
I don't know. We'll see. Oh, Talis Lizzie, trade Duchene. That's what Ryan is saying. No, absolutely not. Putting words in my mouth. They're going to start rumors up here.
And here will be my final thing I say on Duchene real quick. Yes, the Stars have been good. Like, they've won a lot of games this last month. A large part of that is because Robertson has just caught fire and cannot stop scoring. And eventually that's going to stop. And you're going to want that third line to start producing more on even strength. And it's going to be harder to come by goals, because you're not always going to have one of your best player just going at 100% all the time. So I understand what you're saying, and it's working and it looks great. This is not what the Stars are going to look like come postseason. You're going to want at least three of those lines, especially when you're talking about Duchene down the middle.
Now, I will say this, and we got to wrap this up. And I know there's a lot of other things we could and need to get to, but we're not going to have time to do that tonight. I know we've got the jersey. We've got to talk about the Oilers game a little bit more in depth. But the deal with all of this is that even before Robo was getting hot, it was Wyatt and Rantanen basically carrying the team on their back. For a while, it was the two of them, and I guess the Stars power play. And then Robo got hot. He scored that one goal against Ottawa, and he's just been ridiculous since then. That's what has been mostly carrying this team. And the defense has been good enough, with a lot of weight being placed upon Miro and Essa. Mostly. I mean, those two guys have been playing 25 plus minutes a night easily, with obviously the one game, I think it was last Sunday, where Miro Heiskanen played a career high 32 minutes. That's nuts. So it's working for now. I don't want to see that moving forward. So if both Kolyachonok and Capobianco are going to be here a little longer than we even have seen them already, and they're going to be here another month, fingers crossed that that's not the case. Then you got to give those two guys more minutes, or rely upon Petrovic and Bichel even further. because you can't run those two guys into the ground before the playoffs. So, yeah, I did see that, Ryan. Chris' article on the Texas Stars debacle game was really good. They just got wiped out by the Grand Rapids Griffins 10-1. Yeah. Really quick thoughts on the jersey, and then we'll go into depth on it on another episode.
It's cool. One final thought on the Oilers game real quickly. It's really funny because the Edmonton Oilers only have 2 regulation losses at home. One of them's to the Avalanche where they lost 9-1. One of them's to the Stars where they lost 8-3.
Dang it. We're always behind the Avalanche on things. But it is what it is. I personally love the jersey. It's a great combo between the 2 reverse retros, and it's more geared towards the second reverse retro. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. And then the Oilers, man, we could spend a whole 20 minutes talking about the Oilers and everything that's going on right now, but we got to wrap it up. We'll be back very soon with you guys here, but it's late. And as Samantha, James's wife, said that I was going to be in a lot of trouble if we went over 30 minutes, and we have gone over 30 minutes by about a minute already. So, and my wife is also waiting for me so that we can start watching Stranger Things. So go watch Stranger Things. Volume 1 is out right now. Alongside James, alongside myself, Ryan, we will catch you guys on the flip side. We hope you guys have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening. Whenever you guys are listening, thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook. Promo code is THPN. We'll see you guys later. Go Stars.